Everyone's always talking about Portugal, Dubai, Panama, and before I got my permanent Paraguay residency, I get it. I was looking at those too. But after I researched the visas, dove into the numbers, and imagined what my life would actually look like in those places, I chose Paraguay over all of that. And today, I'm going to share exactly why, and most importantly, the honest trade-offs that I made choosing Paraguay as my permanent base. I'm Caleb, we're based in Paraguay. I've been here for almost 3 years. I have my family, my lady, my baby, who was born, thank God, and our doggy. And today I'm going to walk you through my decision. First, a little context. Before I decided my base, I was living with family in a very comfortable environment. I had a stable online gig, but I wanted to quit that job and start my own biz. So I needed a base with 3 things. First was real financial runway. I needed a place where I can stretch my dollar the furthest without compromising quality of life and the things that I actually needed to enjoy. I needed time to build, and I did not want financial pressure to do that. 2, I needed an actual base with utility. So utility being multiple forms of leverage, not just financial, but also a great place to raise family, quiet, safe, great access to surrounding areas when needed. I needed a base that can cover all those grounds. And third, I needed a place with upside, somewhere that was still early enough to have a ton of potential growth and opportunities on the ground, but was not so early that I had to connect my computer to a damn coconut for Wi-Fi. I needed a place that was growing, demonstrated consistent growth, and was growing still. So those filters right there killed a lot of options, and let me walk you through why. So Dubai was the first one I looked at seriously. Dubai, everyone hears about it. Zero tax, crazy infrastructure, luxury, chic, Arab oil money energy. On paper, there's a lot of opportunity there, especially for a bootstrapping business owner. But this is what stopped me from Dubai. One, of course, the cost. Marginally, I would not be getting a greater cost benefit coming from the US to Dubai, so I couldn't leverage my dollar in the way that I wanted to. And to live a decent life there, you really need to be stacking up. And again, as a bootstrapping founder, I wanted to invest all of my money back into business. So I did not want to have to worry about living fees just to scrape by. So cost for Dubai was a little bit too high for my price range at the time. 2, and this is probably bigger than the price, Dubai just feels synthetic to me. It's a manufactured city in a desert, which, okay, all cities are manufactured. But Dubai changed the terrain and manufactured the terrain with oceans and synthetic shit. Okay, it could be cool, but that's just weird to me, man. It just doesn't appeal. Something about the superficial nature does not appeal to me energetically, all right? And that's why Dubai might be a place to visit, but it didn't check my boxes. And by the way, if you are working through this decision now and trying to figure out where your base is, I put together a free guide called the Paraguay Base Blueprint. It covers the entire picture, residency, taxes, amazing neighborhoods to live in here from a local perspective. And I put it all in one place for free, so you don't have to be piecing through 50 different sources. The link is in the description, free download. Okay, so back to it, Portugal. That was the second one that I looked at. Everyone loves Portugal, everyone knows Portugal. And I get it. And seriously, the hype is deserved. The weather, beautiful, the vibe, food, culture, the cost of living, although it's rising, the European lifestyle, the golden visa. It was the perfect plan B play for a long time, but now it's not so much anymore. And that's a big reason why it turned me off. I feel that the golden window for Portugal has already closed, if not is closing, especially considering if you want to get citizenship. It used to be 5 years, now it's 10. Application processing times for visas are backing up to almost 24 months sometimes. Real estate costs, taxes, everything is rising like crazy. Gringo effect. So it's not a best kept secret anymore. It's far beyond that. It's a well-known play, and the ship had already sailed a little bit farther than I would personally like, so I checked Portugal off the list. It did not fit. Third was Panama. Panama, everyone talks about Panama, especially in the digital nomad, remote founder space. Panama, it's an amazing place to build a base. It has a friendly nations visa, a dollarized economy, solid infrastructure, super duper close to the US, which is a big bonus for us Americans. But for some reason, Panama just never stood out to me. It was already super duper developed, and I felt like it's kind of been ran through, all right? It's kind of like similar to Portugal, been there, done that type of energy. The upside, and I'm talking about upside in the local real estate market, local opportunities, and the simple fact of getting a residency early while it's still accessible, I feel like the upside window on Panama is closing. In addition, prices there and taxes are up. Gringo effect has been taking place there. While it was once a Wild West frontier, it is now not a best kept secret, and the requirements are only going to get stricter faster. So Panama did not pass the test either for me. Okay, so one last one I considered was Asia. So I know Asia is not a country, but it's a region. I used to live in China. I lived there for 5 years. I love Asia, man. I love China. I traveled all throughout. And I seriously thought about going back to Asia. My little brother's in Da Nang on the beach, bootstrapping right now. It's an amazing place. But the biggest thing that stopped me was time zones, because I work with American clients. And at the time, I was building up my digital marketing business, and I needed to work with American clients. and Asia would just not fly for that. And the second reason is more uncommon for people to speak about, but for me, Asia made me really introverted. Like, especially in China, living there for 5 years, I started using less words to communicate, which I personally enjoy. But for my goals at the time to expand, I didn't want more introverted energy. I wanted more extroverted energy. For example, in China, when you say like yes, in China it's But if you take that into a context of here in South America, for example, if you say people go, what the hell's wrong with you? Speak up, man. That's rude. So just an example of the more introverted energy there that wasn't really conducive with what I wanted at the time, which was to expand and grow. And I had been to Peru before. I had traveled to Colombia. I'd been around parts of South America as a traveler, and I got that sense of passion and warmth and extroversion. And that was kind of what I was gravitating towards at that time. So I had a taste for that. And so Asia was off the list. And that's what brought me here to good old Paraguay. And here's exactly why I beat every other option for me. First, cost of living is crazy. You can see my last video. I spent about $2,000 a month for me, my girl, my baby who was just born, and our doggy. And I live damn good, all right? I'm on the balcony recording, sauna in the building, grass-fed steak every day. You know the story if you watch this channel. But I'm not skating by, okay? So I could leverage my dollar, just like I originally wanted to, against the Guarani and live a very great life here, which was huge for a founder. Second, time zone. The time zone here, it's kind of elusive. It's basically New York, plus or minus 1 or 2 hours. Sometimes it's New York, sometimes it's +2, sometimes it's +1. It changes with the seasons, but you're basically within New York plus, at max, +2 hours. So perfect for work, perfect for US clients. And third is the culture. So Paraguay does not have that synthetic feel. Paraguay has a culture that is sustainable and is relaxed and is family oriented and is all about the asados and all about the cafes and all about sipping tereré. It is chill here, and that fit my vibe. I'm a chill dude. I need chill, and a place that was conducive with that energy that allowed me to work and build my business, but also have a chill environment was an amazing thing for bootstrapping my biz. Because when I constantly have that noise, grind, it does nothing but stress me out, and it makes it a lot harder for me to actually focus and do intentional work. But the environment here supports business building with that chillness, tranquiloness as they call it here. And that was a huge element of why I chose Paraguay. And fourth, a big one, the upside. Paraguay is expanding like crazy. We've dropped the numbers here many times. Forbes ranked it top economy in the region in 2025 Q4. Recently got investment grade status on S&P and Moody's. Okay, Paraguay's on the upside, exporting beef like crazy. I really hope they slow down, because I want to get my meat in. It seems like they're not listening. Paraguay's growing, which also means there's early stage real estate opportunities, local investment opportunities. There is opportunity to be here, and the upside is crazy. And to me, that fascinates me, and that's a huge incentive to be here for a long-term building a strategic base. And fourth was the residency, Paraguay Residency. I got the thing in one trip. It was super simple, super quick. Came in November 2023, got the residency in January 2024, and Cedula around March 2024. You can check out my video, how I got Paraguay residency in one trip. Link is in the description. But it was fairly simple compared to the other options. Okay, now let's talk about the honest downside about being here and choosing this place as my base. Because Paraguay is far from perfect. And if you're watching this thinking about making the move, you need to consider a couple things. One, the heat is hot as shit, all right? It's hot. Nothing's going to prepare you for that except for tereré. You need to drink an ice cold tereré every day. You'll be good. But I'm talking hundreds plus and humid. Like, that shit hits you like a baseball bat in the face. It is hot as shit. Number two, infrastructure gaps. So this manifests in a lot of ways. Some buildings are built a lot shittier than others. Construction standards aren't the same as they are in Western countries. They aren't standardized. So you have to be very careful. I talk about this a little bit in my real estate videos. You can check them out. Link is in the description too. Also roads. Roads here, man. You're driving on those things. They're crazy. They are insane. It's like, it feels like I'm in the 1920s in a horse carriage type shit. The roads are bumpy as all can be. They're working on it, but not fast enough, all right? So you got to get used to that for sure. And then the distribution on blocks is not yet developed. It's an early stage real estate market, of course. So there's beautiful houses next to shacks, and there might be trash piles in some neighborhoods type of thing, burn piles. There's still some of those growing pains that are being worked out. Now, on the flip side, where there is luxury, where there is development, for example, the malls and the gringo zones, which I break down in the free Paraguay base guide in the description. The gringo zones, you go to those malls, world class. La Paseo de Galeria, my favorite. Oh my God, it is beautiful. Beautiful. You walk in, there's they've built out this little water stream area with with nature surrounding it, and you walk and you feel like you're in Hansel and Gretel walking in the mystical forest. And then you enter the mall and there's restaurants, top shelf steak restaurants. One of my favorites, La Cabrera, everywhere. Cafe de Acá, my favorite place to work. And then you get into the mall, tons of shopping and cafes, and it's really beautiful. They do malls here amazing. Okay, so they're in Shopping Seoul, probably the top two. Mariscal shopping's nice as well. But just to say, there's good and bad in the gringo zones, which I point out in the guide. It's pretty damn good in a lot of places, although there are growing pains too. So just know that. And lastly, here it's not hype or flash, okay? So there's no crazy beaches, no crazy tourist destinations, although there are low-key ones. There's waterfalls, there's cerros, which are small mountains. There's rivers, you can go fishing, like you can go do beach resorts, go out to nature. You can do these things, but it's not crazy and flashy. It's chill, it's relaxed, tranquilo. So know what you're getting into when you come here. And that is exactly why Paraguay is not for everyone. But if you are looking for a place where you can leverage your currency, especially if you're earning in US or euros, real family substance and livability over flash, and a residency that is fairly simple and straightforward to get right now, while the window's open, of course, then it might be exactly what you are looking for. So that's the story of how I picked Paraguay over Dubai, Portugal, and Panama, and even Asia. And of course, every option has a trade-off, but the question for you is, which trade-off is worth it for you? Weigh the pros, weigh the cons, and you will find your new home. And that's why it's been 3 years. I never looked back. And again, if you do want the full picture on what building a base in Paraguay actually looks like, I put together a free guide called the Paraguay Base Blueprint. It's in the description. It covers everything from residency, taxes, banking, living, neighborhoods, you name it, cost of living. It's all in one place. You can download it in the link below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.